please, Arnold. Arnold, feet stand attention. Feet together, Arnold. You're standing to attention, please. No posing.
This is Roger Walker of Australia doing his round one compulsory poses. Roger unfortunately had to follow the great Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold has won the Mr. Olympia in the years from 1970 to 1975, 6 in a row. And today he's trying to make it a record 7th Mr. Olympia victory. Next we have Roy Callender from Barbados. Roy's always a top contender. He hasn't won the Mr. Olympia. Only 5 bodybuilders have ever won the Olympia. And they were Larry Scott, who was the first Mr. Olympia, winning the title in 1965 and again in 1966. Then Sergio Oliver was next, and he won the title in 1967, 68 and 69. Then of course Arnold started his famous run from 1970 to 75, and then of course his great buddy Franco won the Olympia in 1976. Here we have Mike Mentzer, one of the top contenders for today, undoubtedly in the greatest shape of his life. I can see he's ripped and in really top condition today. Here we have Tony Emmett from England, a former NABBA Britain and NABBA Universe winner. Tony seems to be just a little bit out of his class today. He's in good condition, however, but just not big enough. Now we have Samir Banout, born in Lebanon and living in USA. Frank Zane. Frank was the Mr. Olympia winner in 1977, 78 and 79. So that means that Frank is the defending Mr. Olympia title holder today. With Arnold making a comeback and Chris Dickerson in superb shape, I would say that Frank Zane has really got a battle on his hands. Here we have Chris Dickerson, Mr. Everything. He's won virtually every title possible except Teenage Mr. America because he took up training in his 20s. He's won the NABBA Universe, amateur and professional. And he's one of the hot favourites for today's title. Has probably the best leg development in the contest. Perfect balance between calves thighs, and also excellent balance between upper and lower body. Dennis Tinerino of USA, always a top competitor, fantastic abdominal development, a good all-round physique, former NABBA Amateur Universe title holder, and the charismatic Tom Platz. Next we have Casey Viator, the youngest ever Mr. America winner. Casey's showing his incredible back and arm development. And now the classic poser, Ed Corney, also from USA. Ed has won many Best Posing Presentation Awards. And now we have the comparisons. Not surprisingly, we've got Arnold being compared with Chris Dickerson and Frank Zane. Comparisons in groups of 3, typically. Mike Mentzer, Boyer Coe, and Frank Zane. Also Chris Dickerson on the right. These are just quarter turns so the judges can assess the symmetry of each competitor.
Thank you.
Roger Walker and his famous pectoral ripple.
What a tricep. Come on, Arnold!
Roger was born in England, has won the universe, and now lives in Sydney.
Hit the side.
Turn forward. Just ready. Thank you, lad. Thank you.
It's interesting to note that Mike Mentzer has been filmed by GMV more times than any other model. He's incredibly popular and he presents the ideal physique for those that like mass, shape, huge arms with a good degree of definition.
Inner cuff.
Turn forward. Thank you.
Danny Padilla from the New York area, known as the Giant Killer. He's around about 5 feet 4 inches tall. Boyer Coe, another NABBA Universe champion. Also winner of the Mr. America title, and I believe also a teenage Mr. America winner. Boyer is also noted for his incredible biceps, huge arms and back. Great lat spread. He's always had a little bit of a problem, however, in bringing out his abdominals. But everything looks in pretty good condition today. In fact, this is the best I think I've ever seen Boyer's abdominals look. Here we have Roy Duval from England. Roy's won Mr. Britain, Mr. Universe, and he's been a great competitor, but I don't think today is going to be his day. Well, the Austrian oak, what can one say? Probably the best upper body in the competition today. Arnold's worked very hard for this comeback. The arms, chest, shoulder tie-in is sensational. Legs aren't too bad either. Good definition in the back. Particularly in the lower back. As you can hear, every time Arnold comes on stage, the crowd goes wild. No problem with the abs either. Roger Walker performing the compulsory poses. Competitors perform these individually, and then the judges can call for the competitors to do these same poses again, side by side. Head judge today is Bill Pearl, a former Mr. Universe winner many times over. Probably one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. Calendar with his huge V-shape and magnificent arms. He's probably going to be in the top 6 or 7 today. Always very popular with the crowd and a great competitor. The ever-popular Mike Mentzer once again had his own cheer squad in the audience, screaming for him, yelling encouragement.
Hold it.
Mike looks pretty tense. He really wants this title badly.
Hold it. Woo! Yeah.
He has incredible calves, and everything is in pretty good proportion. Tony Emmett once again. Seems to be holding a little bit of fluid, lacking a little bit of definition, particularly in the chest area. Showing a magnificent back at the moment. Semi-minute. Also a little bit smooth, probably come into this contest a touch too heavy. Just missed his peak this time. Has excellent overall shape. Frank Zane, if anything, I feel looks a little bit lean today. Of course, in the last couple of years, he hasn't been coming up against the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has been a magnificent Mr. Olympia champion for the last 3 years. But I get the feeling, though, that today is not going to be his day. This is the best I've ever seen Chris Dickerson look. I've seen him in top competitions since the 1970 universe, and each year, each time I see him, he looks better. And today he's really got everything together. His weakest body part is probably his arms, but with everything else in such superlative condition, the slight weakness with the arms is made up for by the fact that he has undoubtedly the best legs in the competition today. Dennis has excellent upper body development, probably slightly overshadowing his legs, but all in all, a top competitor. I'm sure he'll be in the top 10 today. His abs are certainly equal to the best on show. Tom Platz with the most massive thighs in the competition. I feel he's a little bit too heavy to be a threat in this competition, but his time will come, and definitely a top contender, if not this year, in the next couple of years. Casey Viator, who of course used to work for Arthur Jones, the Nautilus equipment manufacturer. I visited Casey at the Arthur Jones plant in 1978 in Florida and made some films with him, and he was fantastic to work with. First time I saw Ed Corney was at the 1971 IFBB Mr. Universe in Paris. At the same contest, Arnold won the 1971 Mr. Olympia title. And there were only two competitors that day, Arnold and Franco. Unfortunately, Sergio, who also entered, was banned, and they didn't allow him to compete because he had competed in the NABBA Universe a week before. However, they did let Sergio guest pose.
Michael. Yeah!
Mike Mentzer hitting some tricep poses and then into a double bicep. Arnold hitting his famous and favourite arm poses.
Hit the ass. Leg. Hit it. Hit the ass. Keep holding it, baby. That's right. Hold it.
The judges are comparing the big guns at the moment.
Hold it. Hold it.
I'm sure that each of these competitors will be finishing in the top 6.
Yep. Hit it, Michael.
The venue, of course, is the famous Sydney Opera House, and it's absolutely packed out. I think it holds somewhere around 2,500 people. And this is, of course, the first time and the only time that the Mr. Olympia competition has been held in Australia.
That's right. Oh, right. Intercostals. Intercostals. That's right. Hit him. Keep hitting him. Hit him.
Of course, Frank Zane is the only former Mr. Olympia title holder here today besides Arnold. Larry Scott having retired. Sergio not competing this year. Franco not competing today, although Franco is here in the audience. Of course, Arnold beat Sergio in the very famous 1972 Mr. Olympia in Essen, Germany, when Arnold supposedly beat Sergio by just 1 point.
Got it, Arnold! Let's see those stats! Yeah! Woo!
Sergio's in retirement at the moment, but it's rumoured that he will compete again in the Olympia. Coe's famous signature pose. And today, Boyer is really shredded. He has very short upper arms, and when he tenses the arm, of course, it looks absolutely enormous. I'm not sure what his arms measure, but they would have to be in excess of 20 inches. Boyer telling the crowd that he's going to be number one. Arnold once again. Arnold had stated that win or lose, this was definitely going to be his last contest. He'd been preparing for a movie for Conan and had taken the opportunity to specially train for this one last crack at the Olympia title. The first time I filmed Arnold was at the 1970 NABBA Universe when he won the professional class, and then immediately embarked on his Olympia winning career. And then in Australia in 1972, at Surfers Paradise, I made the famous movies of Arnold and Franco. They were shot poolside at the old Chevron Hotel. That's been pulled down now, and a high-rise development has gone up over that famous site. Roger Walker is a former Marine. He was a musician in the Royal Marine Band. Started his bodybuilding career at Portsmouth in England. Came to live in Australia several years ago. And he's Australia's only representative in the contest today. I believe he won his Mr. Universe title in Canada around about 1976. I would say that he and Arnold are getting the biggest cheers from the crowd here today. Has spent most of his bodybuilding life in England, although I believe he has now returned to his native Barbados. I remember seeing him competing in the NABBA Universe in the 1970s, and he always placed high in his class, but he's much improved today. I think he and Tom Platts could have a little mini battle for the biggest and best thighs. thighs and arms are without doubt Roy's most famous body parts. Once again, Mike Mentzer, Mr. V-shape himself, again with his famous arm poses. As he goes into his posing routine. He also worked for Mr. Nautilus, Art Jones. That was for a relatively short period of time. I think it might have been about 1.5 years. He's a native of Pennsylvania and now lives in the Los Angeles area. I feel Frank Zane is looking better here in his posing routine than he looked in the compulsory rounds. He's certainly an incredible poser. Mentzer has inherited some pretty good genetics. His father is German and his mother is Italian. His brother Ray is also an outstanding bodybuilder. I think this year will go down as probably the greatest Mr. Olympia contest of all time. On the stage we've had multiple universe champions. Usually a bodybuilder only wins the Mr. Universe title once, but here we have Frank Zane. He's won 3 or 4 universe titles. Chris Dickerson, the same. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he won 4 or 5 universe titles, and so on. Boyer Coe, Tinerino, etc. I don't think we'll ever see this sort of quality of competitor in the Olympia lineup again. Most of these bodybuilders have been champions for years and years. They've not just suddenly burst onto the scene. They're long-standing and much-loved champions. Pearl retired before the Mr. Olympia competition really got going, even though Bill Pearl did make a comeback in 1971 to win the NABBY Universe, but unfortunately he never chose to compete in the Mr. Olympia. Of course, this is 5 years after Arnold made Pumping Iron in 1975. That was his last Olympia appearance in South Africa.
Explain what's going to happen. You will see competitors going through again.
Well, here we have the top 7 competitors. Now, the judges were asked to place the top 6. So, obviously, there is a tie for 6th place. So the finalists are being called for some more compulsory poses. A little bit of aggro creeping in here between Roger and Arnold. So here we have the top 7 posing down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris Dickerson, Frank Zane, Boyer Coe-Mike Mentzer, Roger Walker and Roy Callender.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And the judges have to bring this back to just the top 6. And now the judges are being asked to separate Roger Walker and Roy Callender. It's obviously very, very close. And they have to decide who is going to get that 6th position. It's very, very close between them. If anything, I can see Roger Walker edging ahead with a little better definition and muscle separation. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the winner, being presented by Joe Weider. And so it was Arnold first, Chris Dickerson second, Frank Zane third, Boyer Coe fourth, Mike Mentzer fifth, Roger Walker sixth.